Good evening, and thank you for having me on your program. It's great to be back in Kurdistan. As you know, I am originally of Kurdish origin, and my love and affinity to my homeland, Kurdistan, has never diminished. I've always been a great supporter, even when in government in the United Kingdom, to Kurdistan, and always wanting Kurdistan to surpass every milestone, every target, every achievement. You're right in your description that Kurdistan region is a connectivity hub for this geography. What do I mean by that? Kurdistan region obviously has many millions of rest of Iraq coming for tourism, coming to invest, coming to make Kurdistan, cities in Kurdistan like Erbil and Duhok and Zakho and Sulaimaniya and elsewhere, their first home or their second home. And then, of course, there is the very important peace process in Turkey, where, again, the dividend of that peace process will mean many more Kurds from Turkey will want to invest and grow businesses and make their first or second home in the region here. And of course, Syria is a huge opportunity as it begins to work its way through to a stable and hopefully prosperous nation. So the way I would describe the region is it is a region and you can call Erbil the city of connectivity. The really encouraging and very positive move by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed is to appoint a special envoy for the region, for Kurdistan. It's never been done before. There are special envoys for countries. There are special envoys in the UAE for sectors of the economy. This is the first time ever that he has appointed a special envoy who's just been promoted to Minister of State, His Excellency Saeed al-Hajri, as the special envoy to Kurdistan, because the UAE understands the significance of what this government has achieved and what the region can do for the whole of Iraq. So it's a win-win for Kurdistan and for the rest of Iraq, as well as the UAE, I describe, leans into projects here in Kurdistan, not just in energy, which is clearly a very important area of expertise by the UAE, whether it's renewable energy or traditional hydrocarbons, but also in tourism, in agriculture. There's real potential. They're the first country to import Kurdish fruits in pomegranates. There's many more projects that can help both Kurdistan and Iraq, and of course be a great export hub for the UAE as well. So big collaboration, a very significant move. Yes, I'm a retired politician, so it's great to be able to have the freedom to join my great friend, His Excellency Saeed al-Hajri, to my beloved Kurdistan, to be able to hopefully make really important, significant projects happen between the two countries, and the country of the UAE, and of course the Kurdistan region, as you quite rightly put it, and of course, as I say, benefit the rest of Iraq. What will work here, and you saw with, for example, what the Prime Minister did with Runaki in terms of 24-hour electricity, and the willingness of his team to want to share the knowledge with the rest of Iraq, so the rest of Iraq can benefit from 24/7 electricity. With my account, again, digitizing the banking sector, much needed in the whole of Iraq, not just in Kurdistan. So there's some really exciting projects that I think, and the vision that the Kurdistan has, and of course the Prime Minister has here, for the development, the economic development, as well as, of course, behind prosperity and economic development, which is what His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed believes in, comes political stability, political equality and equity, and of course that only helps to increase prosperity even further. So it's a multiplier effect. If you get prosperity right, if you get investment right, inward investment, if you get job creation right, if you work together with Baghdad in resolving some of these problems, and I commend the Prime Minister and the President here for going above and beyond to try and make sure that the differences between Baghdad and Erbil are resolved, because they are serious about wanting to make sure that the Kurdish people are able to feel comfortable and prosper in a federal Iraq. That is all part of it. Well, Kurdistan hasn't done badly with what it's been able to do to date. And again, if you look around you, whether it's in Erbil or Duhok or Zakho or elsewhere in Kurdistan, the level of investment development, whether it's roads, infrastructure, water, significantly, this government has done incredible work on water, which if it hadn't been done, then Erbil would have had serious difficulties in electricity generation and, of course, security of electricity 24/7, which will happen for the whole of Kurdistan in the next year or two. So Kurdistan hasn't done badly, but where the UAE, of course, is a great partner is not only in its experience in what it has done to develop their nation, but also their investment in AI. They've been one of the few countries in the world, I think their number probably 3 or 4 in the world after the United States of America, China, and probably the United Kingdom and the UAE, as leaders in artificial intelligence. What they've been able to do in sustainable and securing food and food production is something to be admired and to learn from. And of course, Kurdistan has incredibly fertile land for whether it's rice production. Of course, we are in fig season. We had some of the most wonderful figs today as guests of the Prime Minister after our wonderful lunch with him. All these things, agriculture, tourism, infrastructure, energy, technology, all these areas, I think, as I say, it's a win-win for the UAE and the Kurdistan region and for the rest of Iraq, because if it works in the Kurdistan region, you can adopt it for the rest of Iraq as well, and they're very serious about that too. Well, look, companies have to make decisions for themselves. I think what this government has done in the Kurdistan region is make investment much easier. There's more to do. They'll be the first to admit that they can do even more on investment reform, but the investment law and what Hamad Shukri has done in Kurdistan has been really remarkable and to be commended. But companies will make decisions themselves, and I think it's hard to comment on what particular decisions drove those companies to leave. I know the company that I used to work with, Gulf Keystone Petroleum, is completely committed to the Kurdistan region, and it's obviously a public company quoted in London. And so I think, look, ultimately, when you have a government with a clear vision, a mission to deliver for its people, investing in infrastructure, in energy, in renewables, in agriculture, in tourism, then you are on the right path. I think Kurdistan is on absolutely the right path, with all the constraints and some of the challenges, the political challenges between the federal government and the regional government. This government has still been able to continue its ability and delivery for its people, and that is to be commended and supported, and that's why I'm here to do that.